beat the #1 team, and Texas had to come back from being behind in game 2. They hung tight with them on Friday, and a lot of confidence can be gained, and this one's not over yet.
No, that's true.
Mississippi State can take a lot from this series moving forward.
Yeah, they were 2 outs away from sweeping Texas on Friday night in that doubleheader. And to talk about, beating ranked teams, Samantha Ricketts now has 42 victories over NFCA ranked teams, which is 2 shy of the MSU record. With that schedule and this conference, she'll be able to add to that. That's for sure.
Yeah. Coach Ricketts always talks about how they have the underdog mentality and how they like that and embrace it, but I don't know if they're going to be underdogs for much longer,
No.
just the way they've really put the pieces together and becoming a complete program.
Yeah, hanging out in that top 20, you can't lay in the weeds when you're among the nation's top 20, that's for sure.
That's right.
Here's Stewart. Katie Stewart, 1 for 2 officially with a walk. Hunter is the runner at first. Brister is at second. There is 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Bulldogs will have Edwards, Bernardini, and Hall, the scheduled hitters. And there's a line drive, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Stewart as Brister scores from second. Hunter checks up at third, and it's an RBI double by Katie Stewart, and it's now 7-0 Longhorns.
Now, following a walk, Josie Marion having trouble finding the strike zones. This one trying to get too perfect with it to get a strike. Too much plate for Katie Stewart, and the hitter she is drives this one in the left center for an RBI double.
7th double of the year for Stewart. She's now driven in 56 runs.
Jeez.
And here's Leanne Good, the shortstop. In the previous 2 seasons, she's played every position except pitcher and catcher. You talk about a utility player. There's the line drive that's caught by Marin, and that will take care of the Longhorns. But they add another run. And they lead it 7-0 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. So Salmon is in. She's got a sparkling 1.78 earned run average.
Yeah, highly touted freshman coming into Texas this year. Just 1 inning pitched in SEC play. Coach White getting her some more experience in these kind of moments.
Facing Kylie Edwards to start things off here in the bottom of the 7th.
And you can see that last pitch, the screwball, the rise, everything's going to have a little bit of that tail on it. The rise ball is going to come into the to righties and away from lefties. A lot of 2-plane movement going up and east and west.
Kylie Edwards going the other way and a base hit. She's reached base now twice today. That single and a walk earlier. And the Bulldogs have a runner with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Coach Ricketts talks about her team and how gritty they are and how they fight. Known as the underdogs, come from behind dogs, and they're down to their last 3 outs. But you play the last 3 outs for a reason. They have an opportunity to do something here, and getting a leadoff runner on base is that first step.
And here's Bernardini, Morgan Bernardini, who is 0 for 2 against Cavan. A ground out and a strikeout. Hitting now at .333. She's 1 for 7 in the series. Two and 1 the count to Bernardini. Bernardini is got 26 ribbies. Sacco leading the way with 33. This one's chopped, had a little sauce on it, and it's going to spin foul. Good play there by Brister, who is now at third base, replacing Mia Scott. She pinch hit for Scott in the top half of this frame. Bernardini hitting 360 this year when there's a runner on base, and that's what Edwards is. She's at first with nobody out. That's upstairs.
That's good patience, too. When you're behind in a game, sometimes you want to press and make things happen, not letting the game come to you. You're not going to win this game with one swing. It's about stringing some good at-bats together. You see her talking to her dugout, to her head coach. They do a great job communicating between at-bats. What did you see? What did you learn? And right there, just relaying more information to the dugout.
There's a drive to right center field. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Bernardini, and it's a stand-up double. And there's two runners on with nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh.
Morgan Bernardini had an elite at bat. Very patient, looked for something she can drive, and then got something down over the plate and took advantage of it. Went with this to the right center field. Kylie Edwards sees it down. Not getting too aggressive, stopping at third base, keeping the momentum here. Runners in scoring position. For who else than none other, the pinch hit Page.
Pinch hit Page, the hero from game one with that walk-off in the bottom of the seventh to complete the come-from-behind win against the number one ranked Longhorns. And she's got a great opportunity here. Catching some rays as well. Some upper arm rays being caught. Huh?
The gun show.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there's something special about somebody that can be an elite pinch hitter. Coming off the bench late in games, I mean, that just tells you how locked in and focused she stays to every pitch throughout the game, and she's ready when her name's called. Now, of course, everybody wants to be in the lineup and get 3-4 at-bats, but she understands, hey, I can impact this team when my name's called in big moments, and she did that with a walk-off on Friday here coming up in this big moment. And for Coach Ricketts to have a player like that to come off the bench, somebody that she can rely on in big moments and knows that, hey, there's no doubt that she's locked into the game. She's seeing what's happening. She's not letting her mind wander on the bench. You don't see that very often.
No, she's definitely a weapon coming off the bench, and you're right, it takes a special mindset. Out of Indiana, just the third player in program history from the state of Indiana. Of course, Kylie Edwards also there from Indiana. And the first since 1999. Grew up with fellow Bulldog Sarah Phillips. And we've got some action in that Texas bullpen. That's Gutierrez. The next pitch is going to be a strike.
You know, with all the stats we have, I feel like that should be one of them.
Right. What is the ratio? I think it's high. It's smart by a pitcher because you're already, for the coach to come out and talk to you, it's already a little shaky. Salmon now with a 3-1 count to Ernstes. That's ball 4. And the bases are loaded with nobody out.
See Paige Ernstes talking to her dugout, talking to the crowd. Hey, we're not out of this. The game is not over. You know, stick with us. Let's go. Got bases loaded and no outs.
And there you see Zach Shaw, the first base coach now, coming over and talking with Coach Ricketts. And there is going to be a call to the bullpen as Salmon goes does not retire a batter, and all 3 runners are her responsibility. We'll tell you more about Gutierrez, the new pitcher, when we come back. Bulldogs trying to rally here in the bottom of the 7th. For Texas, the junior coming in to try to close the door on Mississippi State as the Bulldogs have rallied here in the bottom of the 7th to load the bases. Boy, how about those numbers? She's won all 7 of her decisions, and that is an ERA of 1.16. That'll hang out on the top floor.
Yeah, she does a great job of mixing pitches. She's not going to overpower hitters with speed. She's going to be in the low 60s and really spin it. That off speed is her go-to, but it's really important for her to have that curveball to set up the off speed.
Facing Morgan Stiles. Right now, Gutierrez is currently tied for the program's career saves record. And she gets ahead of Stiles 0-2. Morgan with a ground out and a fly out today. Dropped the batting average down to 304. Very warm and muggy day here in Starkville. State's trying to heat up the bats here in the bottom of the 7th. This one's going to be off the netting into the Texas dugout. Count remains 1-2. Texas trying to go 14-1 this year when hitting a home run. They had one by Mitchell back in that 4-run 5th. There's the fly ball to right center. Making the catch is Henry, but he'll be deep enough to score the run from third as Kylie Edwards scores. Morgan Stiles with a sac fly, and the Bulldogs are on the board.
1 run at a time for Mississippi State. The sacrifice fly gets them on the board and gets to the top of their lineup. And if there's a player that's due, it is this next hitter, Sierra Sacco.
Yeah, a couple strikeouts and a fly out to right for Sacco. Former slapper, no longer thinking 60 feet though. What a transformation. And Brittany, you've been around this game for many years. This is some rarefied air, isn't it?
It sure is. I mean, just to see how she's been able to let the slapping go. And for a lot of hitters that have the ability to slap and hit with power, that slap is almost like a security blanket. When they get behind in the count, they could just tap the ball, get on base, and they always had that in their back pocket. And you can see the numbers this year when she's let that go.
There's the fly ball to left. Stewart makes the catch, but that's going to be a sac fly for Sacco as Bernardini will score. And the Bulldogs have cut it to 7-2, but they're down to their final out. So here's Nadia Barbary trying to keep the pulse here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Mississippi State. Yeah, that graphic showing the turnaround. 2 home runs from 22 to 24 for Sacco and 5 this year. Boy, Kyle Apat, he's been on fire, hasn't he, with the graphics, our producer?
He's been great. A lot of hard work and a lot of great execution.
Nikki's done a nice job directing, along with the rest of our SEC Network crew. Glad you have spent your Sunday afternoon with us.
You know, Nadia Barbary up to bat. She has had a great weekend against Texas, a hit in every game so far, showing good patience here. She's really seeing the ball well.
There's a strike call taken all the way. Obviously, Bulldogs need base runners with the 3-0 count. It's now 3-1. She's 1 for 3 today, Barbary. And now the Bulldogs down to their final strike. And a base hit up the middle by Barbary. And the Bulldogs still have a heartbeat here in the bottom of the 7th.
They do. If you're a Mississippi State fan or one of the coaches, you've got to appreciate this never say die attitude in the fight in the bottom of the 7th inning. They've got a mighty big hole to dig out of, but hey, they're clawing. They're clawing and scratching their.
There's a strike called. Blaine 1 for 3 today against Cavan. Sosa is on deck if Blaine can reach. Swing and a miss. And Gutierrez strikes out Blaine, and the Texas Longhorns will win the series, winning today's rubber match 7-2. Good work. Brittany, how about some final thoughts?
Yeah, Tegan Cavan in the circle was lights out, not allowing a run, keeping her team in the game in the circle, but their offense really came through today. After being walked off in game 1, Texas was able to make the adjustments and take home the series.
Cavan now improves to 15-2, and Chafin falls to 16-4. And with that, we'll put a bow on our coverage here today from News Park. So for Brittany McKinney and our outstanding SEC Network crew, I'm Will Colmeyer saying so long from Starkville. Once again, the final score, Texas wins it 7-2, and the series against Mississippi State. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks.